Hello, my mindful adventurers. Are you ready for that weekly dose of the blog post? And this week we are talking about, excuse me. So this week we're talking about the shadow self, the unknown within ourselves. And this month is all about the unknown. So this is the first week of the unknown month that we're going to progress through each unknown, because I feel like first unknown that we should be handling or dealing with or looking into should be the unknown within ourselves, the unknown of ourselves. So that's what I believe. And if you're new here, my talking points are basically the same as the talking points in the blog post. If you want to go check the blog post out, if you came here and you're like, actually, I just want to check the blog post out, it's in the description down below. It's titled Befriend the Darkness, Your Guide to Wholeness, because the shadow self, a lot of time people ignore it and completely like shove it out of their life. In reality, they need it because it helps them become whole. The things that they're worried, the things that a lot of people are worried about, they're not whole about, or the things that will make them whole, don't usually make them whole. It's you embracing your entire self makes you whole. That's what I believe. Because that's just, I feel like that's just the best way to do it. Embrace yourself, like with open arms. But that's what we're here to talk about, okay? But you can find that down in the description. And of course, if you read the blog post and you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, I want to go watch the video, you can find that at the bottom of the blog post. So, let's just jump right in, because the sun's going down. As you can see, that light, that's the sun. And it's kind of cool out here. It's a little chilly. I don't want to be out here for too long, and I'm tired. I'm very tired. But everything is going to be just fine. This is the day before I do the blog post. I'm going to get it out on time. Oh, I'm doing the thing. Doing the thing. All right. And of course, if I make any mistakes or whatever, editing Jamila will edit these things for me. This be like a note here or something. So anyway, so the resistance is real. So aside from this being the unknown, like I've been dealing with I've been dealing with resistance. Like when I do sit down to do these videos, or when I do sit down to write the blog posts, or do make like the social media posts, I know they're not long videos, or I'd sit down to edit them, all that stuff. I've been getting like bombarded with this, like, you should give up, you should stop, you should just do it whenever you feel like. And that's not the energy I'm trying to come out at you guys with, because I love doing this. I genuinely love doing this because I'm learning as you're learning. Like I'm writing out all the things that I know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I do know that, and then I get to like implement them each week, and like it's been fun. And this energy has been like so heavy on me, and it's been like I just know I'm speaking truth. Like you guys are here, you know I'm speaking some truth. Like come on. But yes, I mean, this is the truth. This is the truth that sets the masses free. That's why I'm getting resistance. That's what I believe. I think the truth that I'm speaking sets the masses free. Like a lot of people. I'm excited to see what my legacy is. Anyway, but yeah, to those feelings, those the energy, fuck you energy. I don't need you in my life. Like, get out of here. Let me do my thing. Let me speak to my peoples. Let me help where I can help. Sorry, bear. I want to hold it now. Anyway, this is my bear. You guys don't know my bear. I introduced him like several weeks ago, so you can go check him out. Anyway. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, the shadow self, like a lot of people think of it as like your evil like twin, or like something that's like awful or like horrible. And it's really not. Like it's not something to be rejected, and we do end up rejecting like any emotion that is unfavorable, favorable, like uncontrollable sadness. Like some people reject depression. They'll be like, I don't, you're just sad. Like that's not those types of things. But we're rejecting It could be anger. It could be maybe like there's a specific way you do a specific thing, and it like it's just not the way everyone else does it, so they reject your way of doing it because of that. Most of these things are things that are rejected by either you, society, family members, things of that nature, um, as undesirable, as things that we don't want or enjoy or like. And to be honest with you, I see it as just a part of ourselves that need to be addressed. I see it as one of the parts of ourselves that needs, especially if you're doing self help, self development, definitely parts of yourself that needs to be addressed and and embrace with open arms, like I said earlier, because this is where your power lies. This is where your potential is, like the unknown within yourself. Like out of nothing, you can make anything. Like that's the most powerful thing about the unknown that I want to like instill in you guys in this little video episode. So yeah, because like when you're not embracing all of yourself, you are risking potential. You're risking burnout. You're risking projecting onto others like things about yourself that that you find distasteful, or that you find to be not acceptable, or that other people find not acceptable. It doesn't have to be just you. It could be other, peer pressure. People are like, well, that's weird. Why do you do that? And you're like, why? Why does it have to be weird? You know what I mean? But ignoring those things, it's like it's kind of like it's like growing up, and instead of eating like a healthy, like well balanced diet, you're only eating bread, like exclusively bread. I'm talking like you drink water, yeah, but you only eat bread, and there's no meat. I'm not saying you have to eat meat, but like there's no meat, there's no vegetables, there's no dairy, there's no like where's all this other stuff that you need? You're not even eating the proteins, you know what I mean? Like you're not getting enough nutrients. That's basically what going into self-help and not looking into these unwanted sides of ourselves, this shadow aspect, this side of ourselves that's taboo, side of ourselves that should be ignored, that should be left in behind because that's childish. I'm sorry, I'm 27 years old. This is my bear, my childhood bear from when I was when I was uh 8 months old. And I've had this bear obviously since I was 8 months old. And I take this bear with me when I go dashing. Like I take this bear in a lot of places. I don't take him everywhere, but I take this bear to a lot of places. This bear means a lot to me. And I know a lot of people would be like, "Damn, like you're almost 30. Like, why do you take your bear with you?" And I'm like, "Well, my bear is just like for me, it's a symbol of my inner child, and that's another part like of the shadow, because a lot of people push down their shadow, inner child, because they believe that's something that we shouldn't be indulging in, creativity and playfulness and wonder and imagination and all of these things. When it's like reality, it's like you realize like having those things are what opens the door for you. So let's not disregard the shadow self. Let's not disregard the part of us that we think is unworthy or we think is like wrong. Like let's open our arms and like welcome that in and become whole within ourselves, because there needs to be a balance. Like there's going to be a balance. Like you're going to have light and dark, you're going to have hot and cold, you're going to have it needs to be a balance. Okay. So, let's get into the first talking point. What is your shadow hiding? I'm like super excited because like it's gonna be interesting for me to explain this. Mostly because I see everything as like is all together, and I don't really see like the parts of myself that I've pushed down and stuff as like shadow. I see it more as just like parts of myself that I need to revisit. So to each their own, right? But we're talking about shadow in general because it's a broad term, something that a lot of people resonate with, and it's a term that's been made popular recently. Originated with Carl Jung. I think he was around in the 1800s. I could be wrong. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it there. And it's been brought back to mainstream recently, like with the shadow work notebook. Everyone went crazy about that, and honestly, journaling is one of the ways to work through this. But we're talking about the shadow self, right? So yeah, with the shadow. I don't know why I keep saying yeah. So the shadow is formed when you learn like parts of you are unacceptable by your, like I said, society or family, or you think that they're undeemable, un. Hello, sir. Or you think that they're unacceptable personally because like you see your friends or your family, but you see them doing it, but they never really exclusively said anything. But you're like in your mind, you're like, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't behave that way. I shouldn't, you know, things like the weird rules that we make for ourselves that like limit ourselves and like kind of puts us in a box, instead of us being ourselves and open and exploring that. Um, but like literally, next point about duality. What was you saying? I feel like a lot of these things are gonna. I just shut up, Jamila. Get back on topic. I'm on topic, but get get back in it. Um, crucially, like repress negative traits. You know, your rage, envy. You know, maybe you have hatred. Maybe there's like it's your child, your inner child. Like maybe it's like a form of creativity or where you express yourself when you wear your clothes. I don't know. It could be anything because it could literally be anything. Like literally, me wearing my hair like this could be someone's like form of unacceptable. Like they will never wear their hair like this because of something that their parent said to them or grandparent or friend. So the way I'm dressed could be that, but saying it could be anything. Like child, like it's mostly like emotion based and personality and I would say function based, depending on what it is. But you know, the shadow is usually kind of like a not it's not abstract, it's not like floating in the cosmos. Like no, it's within us. It affects our everyday lives. Um, but when you know we when we suppress these things, you know, it builds up. Like it builds up and it causes issues. It causes um conflicts with our communication when we communicate with others. It causes conflicts with ourselves because we're not quite sure like what our boundaries are. Like we're not like we're not completely in ourselves knowing exactly what it is that we will and will not tolerate because we're like, we'll only tolerate what other people will. But in reality, is like, is that something that you genuinely want to tolerate? And also at the same time, like maybe there's more that you are able to tolerate than someone else, or maybe it's less than someone else. But knowing what it is, but yeah, knowing what it is that you're able to tolerate, you need to be in touch with your shadow self. You need to be in touch with that side of yourself that you think is wrong or that you think is I'm gonna keep looking back at this. That is I almost said uncivilized, but I mean that's I mean where I literally have the word right here. I don't know. My brain is like not unacceptable. It's so weird. But like you know the parts that you feel are unacceptable. That's where you know that's a part of the they come up and wreak havoc in our lives. Lord, I sorry about that. That sentence was like hello. Okay, and then but these negative traits, you know, because they build up and they become more, they not presenting, they present more. They they're kind of like they blow up like kind of on your face. I'm not saying like you have like a whole mental breakdown and like that's like part of it, but I mean like it could be part of it. But I'm saying like when we suppress these things, they become more and more loud, and it kind of it not kind of it starts to suppress your positive because, like I said, we need balance of both positive and negative, light and dark opposites. I'm talking about balancing, and when you suppress things, especially think parts of yourselves that like genuinely should either be there or like just are misunderstood or need to be reevaluated, the story needs to be rewritten. things of that nature. When we suppress that, it comes over our positive traits, and like it affects, like I said, it affects our boundaries, our motivation, our communication with others. It affects the way we show up in life and show up for ourselves, because when we repress parts of ourselves, we're disrespecting ourselves. We're not showing up for ourselves as like a bro. It's like having a friend, because I truly believe, we should be our own best friends. It's like having a friend, and the friend's like, hey, you're gonna be there to let's say they're really busy, right? And they're like, oh, man, they left something at your house or whatever, and they're left something in your car, and they're like, oh man, I really need that by like 5 o'clock tomorrow, and you like you're like, okay, yeah, cool, I can get it to you, and then you get in the car or whatever, or however you see them, and you get there, you get to where they are, and then you get there and you don't have the thing with you, and you just show up, you're like, yeah, I'm here, and it's like, I needed that thing that you said you had. And that's basically the same thing. Like, you have the thing that you need for yourself. Like, there is nobody who's going to, like, show up and heal, like, your shadow for you. Like, they might aid in healing it, but they will not show up and do the legwork for you. Like, you need that object. You need that thing. You can't show up and be like, well, I'm here. Is this good enough? It's like, no, I needed the thing that you had. Like, what if it was their phone? Like, I know a lot of people get cheap about their phones. What if they left? Because I've done this before. What if you left your phone in their car or their house or whatever, and then you're like, fuck, I need my phone. They're telling you, fuck, I need my phone. Like, I need it because I have this thing that's coming up. Like, I'm meeting somebody I've never met before, or like some kind of business engagement or whatever. And then you show up and you don't bring the phone. It's like, well, I needed that phone so I could get this business done, but you just showed up and you didn't. You're not prepared. Like, when you don't show up for yourself, especially in your shadow aspects, it's like showing up not prepared, and also it's like showing up and being like, that's not important enough to me to like really fully be present and like to have all the tools that I need. So we're just gonna like kind of walk away from that I don't know what that is. It's kind of like someone and makes a mess on the ground or something. You're like, well, it's not mine. I'm just gonna. But it's really, but the person who made the mess was you, and you're like, that. That's you. You're disregarding yourself. So it shows up on how not just how you, like I said, not just how you treat yourself, but also how you communicate with others. Because I truly believe how you show up for yourself is also how you show up for others. So if you don't show up for yourself, or if you don't have respect for yourself, other people are going to feel and see and hear that as well. Because when you're dealing with your shadow, it's a lot of it is in the subconscious, so it comes up in the way you speak. You could be like, I don't know why I did that, I don't understand where that came from. It probably came from a shadow aspect or a part of you that you've locked down deep inside of you and either refuse to look at and come to terms with, or you are told that it's okay to shove that down, and not okay, but like someone's like, oh yeah, it's fine to suppress your anger. I mean, someone might say that, but I'm saying, like, you're told like that through society's actions, or through the actions of your family, or maybe just repetition on your own, on behalf of your own. Yes. You might see that that's something that is fine to just ignore because my life's better without it. But what if you could integrate that and it ended up bringing your life to a whole new level? It ends up bringing your life to a place you've never been before. Like, maybe you have more freedom than you than you know. Um, so it's important to like spot what exactly it is, like your shadow is, like what exactly it is your shadow is, the is what exactly it is your I'm gonna say it again, but it's important to know, because like, when, especially if you're dealing with something, maybe like every single person. And this is another thing too, like I feel like this might be very helpful, especially if you're trying to figure out what your shadows are, especially if you're not used to figuring out traits or whatever, or things that you do that you because you're an autopilot, and that's understandable. People are an autopilot, our brains like repetition and routine, so they know what they're doing and those types of things. So it's very possible, it's very easy to go through the motions and not realize it. But one of my favorite quote, I think it's a quote. I'll look it up. I'll put it right there. Not the quote itself, but like if if I find out where it came from. But the quote, or yeah, what I'm about to share, basically like if you go through your day and you only come across assholes, there's a very strong, I mean, like everybody, like from maybe you have a doorman or whatever, maybe from the doorman all the way until the janitor at your job or whatever, like your coworker, your boss, the police officer at the thing to direct traffic, the delivery person, like everybody, the person at the store, the person you look at the side of the street, everybody's an asshole. It might be you. Because, like, there's no way you can go through your entire day and exclusively only deal with assholes every day. Because what's happening, especially if it's like every single day, all day, like without fail, oh, did you do me? It's not food. It's not honey. Oh, she's taking a break, I guess. I don't know. Hi, I am not flower. Yeah, I'm not a flower. You should probably go somewhere else. It's Miss B. Hi, okay, bye. She buzzed the. I don't know if you could hear it, but yeah, she's cute. Anyway, yeah. So like basically, like the easiest clue for projection to tell, um, is like what irritates you most about like all those interactions, because that's probably something that you're doing that you're not realizing that you're doing, or things that you're allowing that you're not realizing that you're allowing. Um, and that's like one of the easiest, because like really in reality when you go through your day you might come across a couple of assholes, maybe depending on how many people. I think it's like, I think there's a statistic, or is there a statistic, I don't know, I'm making up a statistic based off my own experiences. I want to say 1 out of 20 people that I come in contact with during the day, and this is like very loose average, like sometimes I don't encounter any assholes at all, um but like what about 1 in 20 people I encounter like every day, like pass them, whatever, see them, are usually are grumpy butts. They're not having a good time. The rest of the people are not like that. Like most of the people you come across, I know that's for a fact, most of the people you come across are not assholes, or at least they don't, you know um you're not projecting onto them. What? No, that doesn't make sense. Are not actually just mean asshole people. That's what I'm trying to say. Like most of the people you come across are not actually just mean asshole people. And the thing also to remember too is like, people have rough days, everybody has their moments. So like, sometimes you don't know. Um Maybe that's why, some people, there might be more people than others on other days and whatever. But yeah, general rule of thumb, if you're trying to figure out what your shadow is, what irks you about other people, because that's probably something within yourself that you need to work on. That's like the easiest way to see what to see to clue to pinpoint projection through projection what the shadow is. Okay, next point. um Integration, gentle work, because this is gentle. We are not dragging ourselves through the mud. We are not beating ourselves up. We are not going to sit here and tell ourselves that we're horrible, awful, nasty, whatever the fuck people. We're not bashing ourselves, all right? We're showing up with compassion, and we're showing up with love, because we deserve love and compassion, especially from ourselves, because we can be our own worst fucking critic. Like we can tear ourselves a new one, or we can build ourselves up. So like pick one, pick one. But anyway, so one of the first things, like I said, we come up, deal with these things safely and with compassionate. Like maybe there's a person that you trust that really truly loves you and wants to see you do your best at all times someone like you can really trust. I'm not talking about someone who they say, oh, you could trust me, and then you show up and they're all like, again, and the next thing you know, you're the fucking gossiping. No, not those people. The people that you can show up and talk to, and they're like present. They're listening. They're watching. They're observing. They're communicating back to you that they understand what the fuck you're saying, and you're actually having a whole conversation. You're being seen and heard. Those types of people that you trust, not the types of people that you trust, but you don't trust them because you know that they really don't care. So we want people who care, who give a fuck, who love us for who we are. To be able to like do this like safely, because because you can't you can't heal. Yeah, you can't shame yourself into healing or to dealing with shame. Like it's like um there's a couple people I've heard, but you can't, like, one of the things that I've heard specifically for like a health journey, fitness journey, is like you can hate yourself, like you can hate how your body looks and all that stuff, but you can't hate yourself into a better body. It's just not going to work, because what you're doing is you're telling your body like, I hate you, I don't like you, fuck you, and then but at the same time you're also trying to like nurture it so it does become what the thing you want. Like, I don't know how widespread this not information is, but there's several experiments where we did not we, but people, um not me, but we as people, experiments on speaking to different objects. Specifically, I'm talking about plants in this plants. We can talk about water, but no, we'll talk about plants, because one of the things they did, we've done music, we've done speaking to them, we've done recordings, we've done talking in person. Um, some people have done like talking to the water they give the plants, but not talking to the plants. Very interesting things. And what we found is the more positivity, the more um love and compassion that we show for these plants, or that we show for the water, it gets passed on to the plant, so that the plant is able to grow better and do better and flourish. But when you feed it negativity, or feed it negative fed water, I don't know if the water one was conclusive, actually. Don't quote me. But when you feed the plant negativity, you tell it like awful things or hateful things, and the same thing goes with the music. Like, if the music is positive, I think like they do better with classical music than they do like metal. But I also feel like it has to do with like the person who composed it, because a lot of the metal songs that I listen to are pretty depressing. So anyway, that would be something that I can do at a later date, personally. Anyway, that study on like the different types of like the genres within the genres. Like, we got love, personal, money, says, sad, friend. I don't know, all kinds of different things within music that we talk about within each genre. But anyway, but yeah, so the found the stuff that the negative, or the harsh, or the non constructive conversations, or words, or energy put into those plants, they did not do well. Some of them like died. Like, they did not do well. So it's important to show up for yourself with compassion. Yes, we're not plants, but like plants, we're living beings who deserve love and respect and kindness and generosity and just unconditional love, and we deserve that from ourselves. Like, that's one of our inherent birthrights. I'm gonna put that right up here, inherent birthright. I'm gonna write it down, the time, but this is not the time. Inherent birthright with an R. That looks like a weird A. We're not gonna talk about it. I'm not even gonna show you what this looks like. It looks weird. Anyway, so yeah, you can't sit there and guilt yourself into healing. Like, you can't sit there and like negative your way into positive. Like, that's just all right. That just doesn't work. Like, two wrongs don't make a right, but two lefts do. Two lefts do make a right. Two rights make a left. But we're not talking about directions. We're talking about positivity. We're talking about energy. Like, you can't put out negative energy and not expect to get that back. Right? Because with the example that I just gave of the plants, you can't sit there and talk shit to plants and then expect them to produce and do their best. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. So one of the things you can do, you can also, especially if you're noticing, like if you're projecting and you're realizing like this person's triggering me and it's like the same thing over and over and over again, you're like, why do they keep doing this shit? Why do they keep, maybe, hear me out, maybe you're doing that shit and maybe you should write it down. Because when you're able to write it down, one, you're not crazy. Also, two, you can see if there's a pattern, because sometimes some things are linked to our health. I have PMDD, right, which is a hormone irregular. Basically, what it means is like, what we know so far, because there's not a definitive cause to this, is that our brains make hormones, body make hormones, and then when my body goes to like take it back in, because like what we do is we release hormones and like stuff like that in the brain, and then we like take it back in, and then like the effect of the hormone like goes away. um I don't know if that's all hormones, but that's my understanding of most hormones. So anyway, it gets released into the brain and then it gets taken back in. Well, with PMDD, it's released into the brain and then the body's like, what the fuck is that? I don't even recognize that. Like, the body's like, I don't know what that is, so I'm not gonna take it back up. So it's just like you just kind of get stuck with it, and um and that causes all kinds of mood issues. Like, hormones are really tied to mood, so like maybe if it's a pattern, look into hormones, look into your hormones, look into things of that nature. I'm not saying everything has to do with health, but it's very possible that it does, and I just want to bring that up because that's something that I deal with every month without fail. Anyway, so yeah, you could keep logs about it, or you can just sit there and think to yourself, like, if you have like a massive reaction or maybe a slight reaction, or maybe you feel yourself doing something, or you feel like not heightened. It's not excited. Well, I mean, it's excited, but it's excited in a negative way. You're excited, but in a negative way. You can use excitement for all kinds of expressions. I don't know why we only really use excitement for like positive, when you can be excited and angry. Anyway, um, but yeah, so when you get like a massive reaction, or maybe you like realize like you feel a certain way, or like something specific always triggers you to feel a certain way, or something, maybe there's like a story that you keep telling yourself, like in your mind, like every single time. Let's say, because I can relate to this, we're not here to shame or judge anybody. This is a private, not private, it's not, definitely not private. It's a safe place. And I want it to be a safe place for you guys too. But one of the things I tell myself, like, because I have money issues. I'm not gonna lie, I just do. I grew up with scarcity mindset. I grew up believing that there wasn't enough money to go around. I believe that there wasn't, like, I'm still dealing with that. I'm still working through that. So like, when I look in my bank account, right, and I see that it's like less than $100 in there that like I can use, like, it's not like for a bill or something. I'm like, damn, I ain't got no money. I'm broke. No, let's start rewriting that story. I'm not broke. I just don't have money yet. The money is not flowing in yet how it should be. Not money. um, I'm so weird. I'm so funny. Money, honey, funny, bunny. I don't know. I feel like I should rhyme. I don't know. Maybe you guys are all here for the weirdness. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just like, Jamila, get the fuck on with it. I want to know how to deal with this, how to handle this. And I am sorry, this is more of a conversation, weird, funny, silly, kind of, not really funny, but like it's kind of silly, because this is me. This is this is Jamila. And if you want something more like structured, like I said at the beginning, go check out the blog post and down in the bottom of the description. Befriend your shadow self. Sorry, befriend the darkness, your guide to wholeness. That'll be more structured, and you can go straight to this part in there, and you can read it if I'm too silly for you. Because I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm amazing. Anyway, you just gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Okay. So you can log these things, right? Or you can keep a mental note, because I know sometimes people, they don't like to write stuff down, and if you're trying to figure out if it's a cycle, you probably should write it down. Maybe on a calendar or in a calendar, and then you can like go back and like see, or maybe you could find like a mood uh app, like an app that will record your mood. I know that I don't know if Apple does it, but I know that Samsung Health, they have a thing where you can track your mood or like write down I don't know how many, I can't remember how detailed it is. I think it's just like 6 categories. I don't remember. I haven't done it in a while. I use a calculator for like my PMDD, so like I can keep track of that, because that needs to be kept track of. And you can like see like if there's like a pattern to like when you get more irritated than normal, or when like maybe, or you can like, or maybe there's connections to things, like maybe you don't realize that every time you get like super super heated or really Bob's always in the room, and you just didn't realize it. But then when you went back and looked at all the things, you're like, damn, every time Bob was in the room. And then when you sit there and think about Bob, it's like, what about Bob makes me so angry? And then we sit and think about, oh, it's because Bob says that he's gonna do this thing and he never does it, and it irritates the fuck out of me. But then when you like sit there and look at it, and you're like, damn, well, I don't, my integrity's kind of ass too. Like, I be telling my girl, I be telling my mans, I be telling my mom, my dad, I be telling my friend, whoever, I'm gonna go do this thing, and then you either don't do it or you do it extremely late. That's integrity, honey. And Bob is just showing you, we're all mirrors, right? And Bob is just showing you, like, here's something that you don't like in your face, and you realize it makes you mad, and then you're like, fuck, it's because I do it. Part of the projection. Of course, this could apply to other things too, not just like someone who makes you mad. This could be like every time you get really upset or sad, like it could be like during a specific meeting at work. Maybe you have a really structured schedule at work that you can really pin down, like when you're around specific people um at work, or maybe at school, because class periods and things of that nature. I don't think I'm talking to any elementary school kids, but if you hear, I'm glad you're serious about your health and your mental health and your learning. Keep learning. Stay in school. Don't do drugs, kids. Okay. All right. Cool. At least wait until you're out of your mama and daddy's house before you start doing that shit, because nobody needs the police at the door. Anyway. Yeah, so you can log these things, like I said, or you can keep a mental note, because sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. Or you can keep a note on your phone, like I said, or you can log it in an app. All options. And then, little Nat, why do you keep doing that? Keeps landing on my foot and then flying away and then landing on the foot. I don't know. You know how they be. How the gnats be, unless you've never dealt with ants with them. Gnats, not ants. Oh, Lord. Creator's like, hey, take a breath. You haven't taken a little, what is it, one of them water breaks yet? I don't think my straw is connected. I could just like pour it, but I don't want to, because I'm lazy. So you don't want that foot, but you want this foot. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. Nat's doing that. Nat's doing that. Nat's doing that thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, talk to it. Like, you can ask like yourself, like, talk to it. The emotion, right? Like, why do we feel this way? What do you need? What is it? Why are you so angry? Or why are you so sad? Or why are you? I'm not, and not in an accusatory way. Like, why are you upset? Why? No, come to yourself and be like, imagine. I know. Imagine this is you. Imagine this is you, right? Hey, man. I noticed you were getting angry. I was wondering what that's about. I noticed that the other day you were really, really sad when Sally walked out the room. You're usually sad when Sally walks out. Why are you sad when Sally walks out the room? Not why the fuck are you sad when Sally walks out? Who gives a fuck about her? Like, you should be blah blah blah. Why are you mad? Like, you shouldn't be mad. Like, your whole life, like, you have nothing to be mad about. No, no. We come to ourselves with love, and I'm not saying like cuddle yourself unless you really like doing that. I like to hug myself. That's me. But you just come to yourself with love and compassion and just be like, why, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Like you would with a child. You wouldn't show, I mean, I hope you wouldn't, but you wouldn't show up to a child and like accuse them of like god awful, horrible, weird things because of whatever reason. Like, you come to them with kindness. As child. I'm not saying like you should always be coming to everybody with kindness. That's just me. Kindness is not being nice. It's reinforcing the boundaries, talking and talking your truth is what I should be saying. So anyway, but yeah, you come to yourself and you talk to like, hey, like, why? What do you need? Like, is there something that we should be doing? Maybe what does this remind me of? Is this something that reminds me from my childhood? Is this something that reminds me from maybe when I was a teenager? Maybe last week? Maybe a couple years ago? Maybe you went through really traumatic experiences and you pushed them down, but you didn't quite realize that it was affecting you. And asking yourself when these things come up, like I said, show up with compassion. Do not accusatory, like telling yourself you ain't shit because you feel like you shouldn't be dealing with that or you shouldn't be. And that's another thing, like the shouldn'ts. How do you know where you shouldn't be? I feel like where you are is exactly where you should be because there's the best time and place is now, here and now. So yeah, so like be kind to yourself and like ask yourself what you need, and when things come up, show compassion to yourself. I know for me, when I do this, sometimes I start crying because I'm realizing, oh shit, this happened and this happened, and I remember that this happened, and I need to like work through it. And I tell myself, it's okay, it's okay, you're okay, everything's gonna be fine. Or I hug my bear, or maybe like you like wrap yourself up in a nice warm blanket. I don't know, or maybe you're not that kind of person, and you don't, whatever, but you rub your leg or something, or touch, do something to physically like calm yourself. Because that will like allow you to like really parent that inner child. Because when we're kids, I think, I'm gonna say this, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like when we're kids we're more perceptive to touch, of course, and then the lack thereof, because when we're babies we need to be swaddled, we need to be held, we need to be cuddled, that just needs to happen for our well-being. So I believe that when we're children, I feel like touch is like really important. Hugs and like pats and like high fives and maybe holding hands, kind of thing, like comforting your child, being comforted as a child. So like, do something for yourself, like, maybe give yourself a little massage. Maybe you're like, your foot hurts, you just do a little massage on your foot. I just dropped my speaking notes. Or you do a massage on your neck or like on your shoulder or something, or whatever you can reach, your arm, and you like to help like ease the pain, ease the pain, ease the stress or whatever. Maybe you got tension in your neck and you just work on it. But like, while you're doing that, like, talk to yourself and like show up for yourself. And of course, if you have any like strong emotions, don't get mad at yourself. Just be like, hey, this is what we're dealing with. And now it's like, what do I need? What do I need to do? Do I need to go? Maybe you do need to go find external help. Maybe you need to go find like a therapist or somebody that you can talk to, like, or a counselor or of that nature that you can talk to and like express yourself to safely. because you're not able to do it on your own, or maybe you are able to do it on your own. Just make sure you keep that space open for yourself. And again, don't show up with malice. Like, you are human. You're not perfect. And the thing is, like, we all deal with this. There is nobody in this world that's perfect, that does not have a shadow self, that does not have something they suppress, or does not have something that, like, they, like, refuse to acknowledge. Like, we all have shit like that. And if someone tells you that they don't, then they're they're repressing. They're literally they're literally repressing right then and there. They're telling you, "Oh no, I don't experience that," but in reality, they do. Um, because they literally just said that they don't, but they do. They're literally like, it's like someone has toilet paper on the bottom of their shoe. They know it, or they don't know it. Maybe they don't. They don't know it, or whatever. And then yeah, they don't know it, and you're like, "Hey, you got toilet paper on the bottom of your shoe," and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's always there. It's whatever." And they go about their day like you said nothing, and it's like, you're repressing. You're literally repressing right there. Like, it's right there. We can see it. I'm not saying go up to people and tell people, "Oh, you're repressing stuff," and like tell them what they are and are not doing. Like, no, don't do that shit. Like, we are our own people, and we struggle with things, and we learn through struggles and through our lessons. No matter how difficult or easy they may be, we learn. So yeah, find a way to express it. A safe outlet. And of course, if you have like anger or something like that, maybe you need to scream into a pillow, or maybe you need to like go to a rage room. You could go to a rage room, smash, break the, I think it's like 60, $70. I don't know. I've never been, but you could go to a rage room and like smash stuff and destroy things and scream and like literally get your anger out and all kinds of stuff. They put you in protective gear, and they give you a bat or whatever they give you there, and then you go crazy. Um, so if you need to do that, like, do that. Find a place where you can do that safely. And then yeah, there's just all kinds of things you can do to like draw it out of you, safely, and not um hurt yourself in the process. Like I said, always show up with compassion. If you do need to scream, fucking scream. Sometimes I go on walks out here and I just be like screaming everything in my head that I'm like pent up emotion, like resentments, like anger, like all that stuff. It just comes out, and I'm like screaming and yelling, and I'm crying, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get it out, because sometimes I need that. Maybe you need that too sometimes. Show up for yourself in that way. Like make a space for you that's safe, that you can do that you're able to really let those emotions out and feel them, and also work with yourself. Be like, okay, where are these coming from? How do we feel about them? Is there anything I can do to help myself through this? Is there anything I can anything I can do to help myself make this process easier? And when you're able to do that, that's when the real growth, that's when the real benefits really start coming in, because you're now open to it. You're now open to finding solutions. People will start talking about shit they've never talked to you about. You'll see stuff that you've never seen before, because you're open to it, and you'll be able to see ways that you can express yourself, and ways that you can like address this shadow aspect of yourself that you were not able to or willing to address in the past or before. um it's all about setting up boundaries, all about setting up basically like a safe place for you, whether that be with somebody you trust, like I said, someone you really trust, or a therapist, or maybe just yourself, and you can do the work on your own. And that's fine if you can't. If you can, that's fine too. It's all where you are at. Like, I'm all here for getting help if you need help. Like, I've been to therapists. I would like to go back to a therapist for some trauma stuff, but here we are, doing what we can with what we have, right? Okay, so yeah, like the reward for integrating our sorry, this is a conclusion. The reward for integrating our shadow self, and integrating the parts of us that we deem unworthy or uncouth or whatever the fuck, distasteful. um the reward for that is feeling empowered, invigorated, to feel whole, complete, to feel able to soar high in the sky like that plane. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, well, yeah, I guess. um but it allows you to open up energy that you've been using to like suppress that, like instead of because you know when you're like trying not to like say specific things or whatever around specific people, there's a lot of energy that goes into it, like because you'd be like, oh, shit, I was gonna say that thing but I can't say that thing, so I gotta not say that thing, and you gotta like keep checking yourself constantly. I'm not saying you shouldn't be checking yourself constantly when you're speaking, you definitely should be. I was the queen at one point of not thinking about what I was gonna say before I say it. Sometimes I still do that, and it's okay. I'm learning. But what I'm saying is like, you know, when you're sitting there trying to like not do something, like you're putting a lot of energy into not doing that thing. It's so weird and interesting. Like, what is it? My favorite example of this is like you go to the beach, you have a beach ball, and this is something my therapist told me. I use this. I tell everybody this. You go to the beach, you have a beach ball, and you know, the whole time you're like, I don't want to see this beach ball, and I don't want to think about this beach ball. So what you're doing is you're shoving the beach ball under the water. I don't know about you, but air rises in water. So that beach ball full of air is you're pushing under the water. You're sitting there like, yeah, what's up? Keep it down there. Oh yeah, that's nice. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Like that's you're putting so much effort in keeping that underwater when you could have just like let it go, let it float around, do a thing, like do beach ball stuff, like come out, leave, like roll around, you know, whatever. Maybe it ends up popping at some point, you know, like beach ball stuff instead of just being like, gotta shove it down. Can't think about it because you do that. You're putting out so much energy instead of just letting it be. And that's another thing too about mindfulness practice when it comes to your thoughts and things of that nature, like letting them be, because when you let them be, then they come and go, because you're not supposed to like sit there and dwell on everything all the time. Some things come and go, like the waves or like the clouds in the sky, like they come and go. There's a beginning and an end to it. Like there's always a beginning and an end to it. There's a circle there's a cycle. There's a cycle that we all go through, especially if we're not, you know, in the middle of change and like development. Well, there's a cycle for that too, but you know, cycles that we make of our own. We make our own cycles. Yeah, cycles that we make of our own. That feed into that and feed into that. Let's just scrap that. I don't know where it's going. Um, the cycles. I was talking about the cycles, but I was talking about the cycles. I don't know what I was talking about the cycles. Yeah, let's just ignore that. I start speaking and then it's just not where I need to go. um so yeah, when you're able to integrate the shadow self and not sit there and like actively try to not think about it or actively try to disown it or actively try to shove it down, just like the beach ball, um you become whole, you become authentic, and you become yourself, like your full body yourself. Instead of it being like the Avatar Last Airbender, because remember Aang really didn't want to learn firebending because he was scared. Same shit. you gotta you gotta do it. You're gonna eventually have to do it in order to be whole and complete, because you're not the Avatar unless you know all four elements. And how can you not know all four elements? How can you be the Avatar and not know all four elements, right? Um, So think of it that way. You're the Avatar and you're refusing to learn one of the elements. That makes, I mean, you're still the Avatar, but you're not as powerful as you could have been if you would have mastered that fourth element, or third and fourth element, depending on how you do your thing, whatever. So yes, the wholeness of you is embracing all of you and learning to master it. You might not ever fully master it, and that's okay, because we're people and we're always changing. That's one thing that's completely constant, always in this world, always, ever, forever. I will always say, constant is the change is the only true constant we have. So remember that, and remember that your wholeness comes from yourself, not other people, not what other people can do for you, not what other people can bring you, but from yourself, from how you show up for yourself and how you integrate your shadow with your light self, and the self that you want people to see. um, yeah, so like talked about a lot, and I want you guys to be well equipped, and I want you guys to be here for your own change, for your own well-being, because some people just float through this life and they don't really take it seriously, or really take it to like be like, hey, I am who I am because I am unique, and instead of just being, I'm just a human and I'm just doing human things and I just have to do this. Like, I want you guys to be well equipped to be able to be yourselves and like be authentically you, because that's the most magnetic creature on this planet, is being authentically you. And when you're able to, when you're able to when you're able to integrate, I kept saying like reclaim in my head. Reclaim your shadow self, or integrate your shadow self, then you're able to live honestly a better life. You're able to live like the best life, right? I think so. Um, so yeah, I just want you guys to live your best lives. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys found this to be entertaining, fun, whatever. If you found it's informational and you want to share this with someone, definitely share this with someone. I know it's long. I know if you made it all the way to the end, you're a true homie. I love you so much, because this means a lot to me if you guys make it to the end, because these are long videos. And I know sometimes I'll be rambling about shit that all made no sense, just like earlier I was talking about cycles and I just dropped it. I don't do it all the time, but sometimes I do. And I'm just glad that you guys are here at the end. And I love you guys so very much. And you mean so very much to me. You guys really do, because I love doing this for you. I love doing it for myself, just like I said earlier. This helps me as much as it maybe if more. I don't know. I have no idea. It helps you and it helps me. So if you guys want to help me with that, monetary donations are appreciated. You can get that in my link tree and the support me page. And then, of course, the link tree is linked to all my other stuff, so you can get to all my social medias and all that stuff. So support me there, follow me, and then subscribe here on YouTube, because I don't know. I only post like once or twice a week. I don't post a bunch of times a week. I try to post a bunch of times, because I personally, I don't like posting every single day. I'm not a social media person, so yeah, you only get like 1 or 2 notifications from me of posting. So hit that bell, subscribe, be here, because things are going to start to unravel, unfold, and become what they were meant to become. Okay. I know I'm crazy. Okay. All right, guys, I love you so very much, and I just hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your 24 hours, wherever you are in 24 hours, even if it is 23:59. I hope that is the greatest 1 minute of your life. I love you guys so very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, like I just said. I love you guys. Bye.